Good afternoon, folks. It's 12:26 in the afternoon on the fourth day, 12th month, 2022. And I'd like to talk a little bit about some of these devices here uh, that have become kind of normal to see in the hands of people that I don't think have the best intentions always. This guy might be tired as he has to stand here all day, and you guys are making him have to be here. He'd rather be in the back drinking his coffee and doing nothing, maybe. So he might turn this up, and this is quite a device. So I'm being a kind of factual person, as you know. I like to go to documents. So am I actually filming? I'm gonna keep checking this time. So I'm doing a little looking around because directed energy weapons come in many forms. And what I'm looking at here is a document, PDF, right? Called Acoustic Weapons, uh, a paper for the Convention on Certain Conventional Weapons from Geneva, November 2018. Everybody knows me. I'll pop the docs. I'll tell you exactly why I feel a certain way, and I feel very strongly against the usage of these devices. Uh, they're, I don't see them being good. It's just somebody being able to get their way when anybody else challenges rights. And I have a lot of concerns about him. Even this officer here, this weapon. Let's say some of the signals bouncing off the building, and it bounces off the back of, let's say, this shield back here, right? And it's hitting him right in the back of the head, and that can't be good for this officer's health. And I do get concerned for that, right? Somebody holding this in their hand, that's going through their bones and their body, and it's not going to be healthy for them. And this is not regulated properly. He's got some kind of a dampening device around the outside of this. And I'm very interested to know what kind of materials we need to have to protect ourselves from being indiscriminately. Let's say you're shopping here, right? Something happens. It's decided to deploy one of these sonic weapons at you, and I'm going to go over these things, right? You might get blasted here. You might be living in a flat upstairs from one of these shops, and you might get very indiscriminately dosed with radiation, and that's not fair to you at all, because you wasn't doing nothing wrong. And, well, when Sergeant O'Malley over here just says, I'm going to get my authority, so I'm all dressed up, I can go out to dinner with and everything and look real good, I've got to make a force. And if you look in this guy's hand here, I'll look at this image here from was it used? I'm not going to question that part of it. I'm just going to question. This guy is carrying this in his hand, and when he decides to plug this in, and they've got a specific location, somebody else has got something else to use with it. Where's the power pack, right? See the inverter plug? It's a plan. Well, we're just going to go out here and use this very indiscriminately. And these waveforms will bounce around these buildings. They'll be getting people on buses if they happen to be deployed in an area. And they go vast distances, depending on how much amplitude and how much wattage is applied to one of these devices that give a sonic weapon. We will not be having junk mail from anybody. Now I want to continue with the New York Times. Just as to give you an example. And I do worry about the people that deploy these weapons. So I'm going to start looking into some of the safety sheets, how to protect yourself from an LRAD. Now, I don't know what this website is, right? But if it's coming down the street blasting you, and you're EMF sensitive, electromagnetic frequency, and other things on that spectrum of radiation, a sound wave is a form of radiation. It radiates a wave. And pick it up as stuff you hear, like my gobbledygook right now. Hey, nice truck. Sorry, I like a good truck. I ain't liking that too much in the back. Wouldn't it be better with I don't know, fill with firewood or something to go help somebody with, or clothing to go give somebody that needed some help? But when you have a setup, well, let's budget some money to fright people, and we'll make sure they can't put it out, because look, this obviously can be affected by things thrown at it. See, small projectiles piercing these speaker cones can render some of these useless. It can actually cause a harmful feedback. And I don't think if he turned that front ways and he aimed that there and some of that speaker blasted at him, it's not going to be good. It's going to hit him right in the goalies, man, right in the crotch. And they won't be able to breathe and pass on such a terrible attitude that it's okay to go down the streets of the country you grew up in with a weapon like that. Well, a weapon like that, you're supposed to protect it to serve, and that is doing the opposite. This is my opinion. So now I'm going to go into some of this sonic weaponry here. I'll let you read through some of this. Did I pop you a link? Oh, yeah, I popped at the very beginning of the video. I popped a link. So you can download this yourself and have a discussion paper to discussion paper. Things to discuss. And this seems very pro. The bias on this article. When you read an article, determine the bias first, right? Who is it written for? What's it trying to sell? But anytime they got little numbers, like when I look at things like these, right? You see these little footnotes. You got to go look at them. They're usually in the back. So go there first. Read some of the headers that go. So page 5 is the beginning of the footnotes. That's a quick pop in it. Now here you go. Page 4, some of the footnotes. What's they saying? Now, I'm going to have to go down so I can read this. Whoa. That's very big. I can almost sit across the room and read that one. Oh, really, this is hard. I'm going to take those off and switch my specs. Oh, gosh. Oh, there they are. Only for using the screens here. Let me dust them off. Government regulation of acoustic devices. We could just start reading some of this stuff yourself. Get a good screenshot. Download the document and go through it and highlight it, because some of this is very important. It talks about exposures to sound levels above 85 decibels are hazardous, right? That's important to know. So if you're picking up some of these levels in public, that's wrong. That ain't helping these glasses at all. Better without them. They defined a minimum in Canada in 2011 of urban scenarios. That's so you can't keep your music loud, right? Those thumpers. But yet they can have that. One that would drive a dog mad. What about a dog in somebody's car? What are they going through when one of these is indiscriminately deployed or bounces a signal off the side of a building and some person deploying it? They're a numbnut, as I will now refer to them. That will be referred to as numbnuts, just because it's easier for me to remember. Yeah, when you look happy about doing this, hey, dude, you're drooping on your mask. If you're going to play a virtue signal, do it right. So as you look at some of these things, I'm sure you're picking up some stuff that's rather politics, scapegoating, and mass psychogenic illnesses on an attack. So that when they blamed the sonic attack that occurred in Cuba, and you'll have to look these up. You've got homework to do. Oh, if I click something, reverse engineering the sonic weapon. What the heck just popped up? Hey, one just gave us a document. I don't know why that popped up. But it just did. Or maybe that's a good footnote. I don't know. What's it? What was that? Oh, this is the article about Cuba. Oh, this is well done. That's a well done paper. Whoever put that together. Well done with the links. So you can find out all about that there. And how they'll use the word victims. Ultrasound is inaudible. You will not hear this. But some recall high-pitched sounds. Well, you can get reverberations from things around you vibrating that you will then hear. I must point that out. I don't see that being mentioned. But this was a sonic attack they try to blame on other people. But it tells you it's real, right? As I go back toward the bottoms. Current states of play. Fascination at acoustic weapons prompt among certain militaries. People that want to control things. The lionists, publicists, police forces, and militaries. Did I read that wrong? Liasists. Yeah, I think I got it right, in essence. As you follow the science, it leads to some guy called the Money. His picture's on the Monopoly card in the community chest. And, yeah. It's your community dollar, and we got to breathe it. And this thing really did a lot of harm, these devices, to indiscriminately to people in front of the House of Governance of the entire nation of Australia, and it's shameful that the damage is still going on. And I imagine some victims as will be typing on this video. That's right. It's very wrong. So if you read some of these things, LRAD projects voice messages to a range of that means that's how loud you can go loudspeaker. It doesn't mean you're beaming it in your head. Know that. All right, but it could mainly high frequencies. You see that word? Mainly. But it can do the others. It can. It's a speaker cone. It's built to withstand things. You put a different like an amplifier with a Marshall cab behind it and start playing some different things and reverb and things. Anybody guitarists will know about this kind of stuff for sure. Any sound technician knows you can amplify different. You give me the speaker, I'll make what comes out of it. I'd rather aim it backwards and play the brown note, because they obviously got to have a good shit. If it, with feelings like this, you're holding a lot of anger inside, and that's usually could be released with a good poop. Yeah, fix the gut, man. Flashbang devices, noise flash. Those are those sound grenades, flash grenades and stuff that you see them using, and it talks about several known circumstances of injury and death, incidents of death resulting from their use. This makes that unacceptable. A flash grenade is a sonic weapon, believe it or not. Yeah, it's considered that. It's governed that way. High frequency devices that can be emitted, that emit a sound and a frequency on the border of being ultrasonic, right? There's levels of what they call on the meter for sonic and ultrasonic. And I'm not going to get into the total on that. That's so sciencey. I'm just trying to show you a document. But there is a difference, so you'll have to know the ears tend to be more sensitive to sound than others. Who's younger people? Why? Because they got more hairs in their ears still. Or they haven't heard on so much bullshit that their ears are clogged up. So this affects youngins. Youngins worse. It says it right there in this document here. The best known device is mosquito, teenager deterrent, anti-deterrent device for teenagers. It's at number 36. Let's find this. I'm just going to go with this today. What we got here? Compound securities. Hits a link. Oh, I'm loving this one. It's gone. No surprise. No references for your. Oh, man, did I just do the nasty on it? That's okay. I've got this. Boom. Boom. I go back to my own live and grab it. Hang on a minute. I did a thing on myself. Reverse engineering. No, there's one at the very beginning. Here it is. We'll take that back up. Right. We don't want to click that link again. That one was gone. Uh-oh. I am expecting a delivery. So I will run for a moment. While I'm running, I'm going to let you guys see this. Hang on, I'll just be right back. Watch the weather unfold. Good, my warm shirt arrived. Yeah, that was good to get up and get. That was important. Give me a turtleneck. My neck get cold. I don't do wool very well. All right, well, I'm looking at this a minute. Let that roll. I got your attention on that. I'm going to go back and keep talking about that, but I don't want to disappoint you on that. Some people are only waiting for that. If you're only waiting for this to see what the fuckery totals are about the same as last night's was showing. They're toning down this area a little bit. Some of your totals have already occurred, but pretty much they're going what I said. They're hitting a trough. That's where the cold air is sitting, and it's coming. Yeah, so I'll go much more into detail of that. Because you should really just don't dish your own ease today, man. If you got a sunny day, you go act like it's a sunny day. You clean up what you need to. Get your drains and culverts going okay. Yeah, you're going to get dirty doing it. Watch for debris. Watch your animals. Okay, if this is all you're waiting for, Darwin, over the next 24 hours, you got time. If you've had a problem, to take care of those few things you needed to do to get the fuck back to where your safe spot is, because you're going to get it. All right? They're planning this. I don't have all that part loaded yet, if this is what you're waiting on. But I wanted to talk about this, because this image is bothering the fuck out of me. It just is. I saw that this morning, man. I was like, man, this is pissing me off. He was just too happy to use something indiscriminately that's actually could bounce off a building and harm them too. It can. It's how waveform works. It's going to bounce off something. You ever throw a pebble even in a pool or something with a confined edge and watch how the waves bounce back? What do? Well, when they interfere with each other or cross over each other's paths, the peaks, the top of the hill gets the same big. It adds. If this one's an inch and that one's an inch, you get a 2-inch top and a 2-inch bottom. And when it was a 1, you get the mathematics occur. Okay? Well, no, trust me. Oh, Bumpy's outside. Oh, I'm missing it. No, I'm not. That's okay. I'm glad the bird's okay. Consideration should be given to ethical. This is a thing they don't teach anymore. Do they have a class called ethics in school anymore? And if so, I want to see the manual. Because the ethics I see being deployed in this world are far from humane all the time. The good of the few should never outweigh the good of the many. Ever. It's illogical. It's not logical. Wah, 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 wah. It's the wah, 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 wah world of it all. The wah, wahs. Considering that should be given to ethics. Nah, the ethics of this person have not been determined. Who does he work for? Who's his friends? What clubs has he attended? Who's his soccer team? And we got to know everything. Well, maybe not the soccer team. Though to some people that matters greatly. To me, monkeys toss that shit. The World Cup needs to be full of food for people that are hungry. Not something gold to hold in the air for your big accomplishment. I could kick a fucking ball. Well, I could kick balls too if I get the opportunity. But I don't think that's very nice. Sometimes very appropriate, but not nice. Yeah, and that meme of that person dancing with the cat in front and the foot between the legs and a woman. Yeah. That's a bad attitude, man. That's a very bad attitude. A number of states that have developed such systems. And so you click this link here and you'll find out about that. Hey, what happened with this? The links didn't go. Oh, they changed what I'm allowed to do. Oh, it's because I got them from down here. So I got to go down here to find these things. But you see in all sorts of stuff. French protester died after being hit in the back with a stun grenade. You know, what titles am I saying? Anti-loitering devices. Those are the shit that just annoys the fuck out of everybody, including people that live in the area. I might have a flat upstairs, right? I don't think that's right. And what about the animals? Mosquito MK4 anti-loitering device. What is this? No, move along, kids. You don't get nowhere. You enjoy your own city center. Sorry, that's gone. Gone. Too many things get gone when it's time for us to lose. They don't want you to see things, not see. Even a study done with references is not allowed. So somebody obviously poured over this document before. Well, you have to actually go in and find these. The pursuit of Panama's Manama, Noriega. How the military used that. Sonic booms of Israeli jets over Palestine cities being used to torture them poor folks over there nobody talks about. They're only talking about some Ukraine billionaire guy who's wants to be the fairy godmother, I think. Not even a godfather. I get so upset sometimes when I read about the invisibleness of being attacked. Non-lethal applications. Non-lethal. Well, high-intensity acoustics. Well, at what point did they find what the lethal limit was? How are they doing that determining? This is wrong. They're killing something to find out. Technology reports on growing long-range acoustic devices, LRAD business. So this is selling how much money you can make a page. And I found, ask this guy with the beard. So sorry, mister, we got you on this. No, access denied, says Hugo. Hugo says, go fuck yourself. You are not allowed to see this. You see what we're up against trying to prove things, even when they're referenced in documents we're not allowed to access. I wonder if the document itself. NATO. This should be publicly available. I'll find you. Let's see how badass Google is. And here it is. There's the document they're hiding. All right. You can't. You got to just do your own homework. They're not making the links easy for you. They're not making it easy. Remember when you had to do your own book report? I'm very good at that. This is the work you support. There you go. Have some goodies. Right. I hope you're enjoying this kind of show. And I did ask people to put pictures up on a specific post on my wall. One picture each of your conditions today, and then at some point here in a little while, because it's Sunday, I ain't going out in this. I'm very tired from yesterday's activities, and I'm gonna go over your pictures and like point at things, see if I can find corresponding imagery from the sky. And if you'd like to support my work, you may do so at paypal.me/Robert Deutsch, or support my jewelry. You could contact me. I'll sell you a piece, and they're getting there very quickly. I get great references on that. No, really, there's people watching right now that just received stuff that they can't believe how quick it got there. Even I'm surprised. So it was worth paying the extra to get it there faster. Yeah, human effects. So here's somewhere smoke being blown up your ass. So here's a process that allows weapon developers, so they're calling it a weapon, to visualize non-lethal side effects. So if the computer says it's okay, they can do it. I'm not quite understanding what that means. I'm not making any bold claims about any of this stuff. I have a very big opinion. I don't like this to exist. So my bias is this shit's fucked up and I don't want it going on. All right, I'm very biased about that. I'll admit it openly. But I'll show all points of view. But then you get my perspective. Advanced total body model. Your body model, what do they do? Shove a probe up your ass? Improved flash grenade team wins Air Force Science Award. So all this is on here. Laser bioeffects research dazzling success. Non-lethal thermal laser prototype evaluated. Have it. This shit's about to go. You better get this quick. You know, let's go 505. She's going back to 505, 'cause our oppressor do not want you to see the studies you paid for with your lives. She'll love the Arctic Monkeys. Thermal laser system, which attaches to a rifle to use a laser to create a heating sensation that repel adversary. In other words, it sets you on fire. Okay? These capabilities can provide warfighters with additional escalation of force option. Escalation of force rather than de-escalation of force. Diffusion of let's say, tension. It's adding to it. With non-lethal blunt trauma munitions that are immediately reversible compared with. So there's your two choices. You want to fray him, or do you want to hit him with a fucking bullet? Rubber bullets fucking kill, man. They put eyes out. They are not kind at all. It's still somebody with a heart on firing into a crowd of people indiscriminately. He might even be aiming and targeting a specific person. Very often, a high-up person in activism is shot or fried the most. It happens. And if they ain't, I get questions. What kind of protective device are you wearing? Where were you standing? I don't believe that putting a wet rag around your neck does anything but give something for the way for it to propagate through. And it excites those molecules and heats that up. And they start vibrating to the same frequency of that sound. Whales communicate for a long time through water. You tell me how you stopping a sonic weapon by wearing a wet rag around your head. I don't see it happening. It's illogical. It's almost insulting my intelligence. Really. Almost. Until you prove to me. Hey, mighty United Nations look at things. Oh, yeah, you rush out that Department of Non-Lethal Weapons Program. Boom. An official website of the U.S. government. Evidently says that on here. So you got the United States showing, and then like, hi, the Liverberg got you. That's mighty Rothschildian, isn't it? My goodness. He even got the insectoids on the bottom. Look at the wings. I'll see things different. What's this? Business opportunities. What we got going on here? I'm sorry, I gotta dive. Here's one of them look like. Here's government website. Defense Innovation Marketplace, a resource. Hey man, you got some links to click here. Hey, there's a marketplace. You never know what I'm going to do you? And they wanna push these kind of weapons through in the hands of people that seem to look like they get a hard on. Space community. The new Kubrick. What's that? Undersecretary for Research at AQ after the productivity test. Shares scientific advances. Is that a big radar? Is it on a trailer? I guess maybe his sonic weapon worked real well on his hair. I'm not finding much on that. So Twitter advertising, innovation programs for small businesses and technology transfer, electronic listings, solicitations for small businesses. So there's where they want to go full digital probably. Acquisition gateway. I'm just clicking. That's what I do. Federal government users, click here to sign in. Return to home page. Click here for public access. Give me public access. Loading. Loading. Twirly whirlies. What's here? This tool is to provide a nationwide dashboard of upcoming federal contracting opportunities. Oh. Oh. So you can like get ahead. What are they offering for the Department of Interior here? What's going on? Isn't that a pretty picture? So the bear must have to shit in those woods. Cause shit goes downhill, don't it? Disadvantaged business utilization. How are we going to use the small guy that's down? Huh. Yeah, this is hub zones. Linking all the businesses in an area, isn't it? I ain't got it, but they do. You all make an agreement and everybody prospers in an area. It's so good, isn't it? One shop does all the advertising, make it cheaper across the street, and they get the sale. Not fair. I see the way some of it is. So there's a lot of stuff to go through here. Doink, 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 doink. So with that said, I'm going to click off here for a bit. Or go right back to the PDF. Goodman recognizes tension between critical tendencies tagged the politics of noise and the politics of silence. In other words, the people that are a victim of EMF hum. It's torturous all the time. A noise that goes through your body like you left a Metallica concert and sat way too close to the speakers, or we're standing there, of course, jumping up and down, going, oi, oi, you know, like you do it at the show. That particular one. And towards acoustic and jurisprudence. So what? There's so many articles that are written that are then taken down. They make how many? Amnesty International, Omega Research Foundation, Human Rights, and the impact on less lethal weapons. See if we one more click. I can't resist. So there's another one. I don't know what these say, but a lot of times I find Amnesty International to be very, very funding oriented, and not doing the controversial as much anymore. They lost the spirit for that. Yeah, here's happy guy again. See that cable there? It's power. See that cable down there? That's the weakness. See that cables are the weakness. See that cable? That's the weakness. And I do feel bad about the acoustic waveform bouncing back off this back thing and impacting this officer here. Or you see him standing there now like that, or maybe that's intended to create a proper reverb. Boom, boom. I'm not sure. You know, to stand in front of a beam, it doesn't sound like a good thing to do. Damage done by an LRAD sound cannon and how to deal with it. I don't know, it just came up. People standing there. How many decibels of sound are you feeling? Just a little something for myself. Just give you an idea. Human pain threshold. Pain, 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 pain. Have some pain because you don't do what we say. Have some pain because you're already in pain and you have to go protest because you're feeling pain. Have some more. February last year, a Japanese whaling vessel used it against anti-whaling Greenpeace protesters. Last year, the summit in G20, LRAD was used to disperse protesters. It was first used in North America in 2005 as the crew of the Seabird Spirit, a luxury cruise liner, used the device against Somali pirates. So it's being sold with good. But you don't tell me that person can go, I'm going to play a joke on my buddy and burn his ass a pocket hole through it and all going to laugh. But you could be causing cancer in people by mutagenesis of the cells. And even causing them to die. Necrosis itself. Gross necrosis. You know, thing look like something simple. You'd look in to go see the whales out off the shore, but if you aim that at the whales, and who thinks they don't? Maybe they do that sometimes. Who knows? You know, those big factory ships, it's unseen. You ain't even gonna quit that job. You'll go overboard. You better do one more can or you're going overboard. You're going in the can. Who knows? I feel bad that people would use these weapons. Maybe they don't understand the full extent of the harm. They're even doing it to their buddy here, who's now in that pain zone that we showed you here. You know, if he's standing here, right, they're standing in front of this thing, right here. They're in the human pain threshold zone. They're in a very harmful area, these officers. And I think the Occupational Safety and Hazard Administration of the United States and other places around the world need to do a thorough investigation. Look at this U.S. covert war, Venezuela. This seems like this site is a wealth of alternative information. And I haven't fact-checked any of this. I'm just clicking links. You guys got to do your own determinants. Ain't enough for me to tell you your opinion. I just show you like it is. Today looks like it's going to be this kind of show. I wasn't sure what I was going to do today. But I'm pulling up pictures, so at some point I will. But only one. Please don't blow the whole show out with, boom, I got 150 picture, Rob, because I'll purposely skip over you. Yeah, if you're doing it to attention seek, no. If you got a really great image, I might ask you, did you take any others? And if I do that, pop them to me in Messenger. I'll do that very one-on-one. I always do. I like to give people the minutes they give me. I'd like to say thank you very much for the knitted cuffs that somebody sent me for put around my arms to get warm my hands. I'm going to leave their name out of this. Thank you so very, 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 very much. That means a lot to me. I feel very humbled. Hey, you know, it's nice to get a card. It really is. Makes me feel less lonely. And what's lonely got the thought when you got the universe to talk to, right? You talk to oneness. It's sometimes the most intelligent conversation you'll have all day. And nobody's wrong. Nobody cares to be wrong. So I've gone over the human rights impacts. So there's so much information about here on that original document for you to have a look at. This article, Acoustic Weapons, and for your own convenience, I'll now pop that into the end here, and then I'm gonna go have a drink. You know, because it's really, it bothers me. I don't like the uses of weaponry in general. But at what point, if you're attacked, is self-defense, should that be labeled as terrorism ever? Should defending your house ever make you a criminal? Should you now just be denied all access to governance without representation? Because that's what's wanted. If you put this up on the steps of the House of Governance of Canberra, while people wanted to speak to their governance, then you decided they did not need to be represented anymore. And it saddens me. Really, really saddens me. And that person might have got a waveform bouncing back on him, and maybe he's not very healthy either. But I'm not too sad about that sometimes. When people are standing in front of this there, now the officers that did it, they ain't gonna be able to go to court because they got fried worse. And it's going through their bones. It's bad. It's vibrating the metals that are in your body. It's causing plasmas and all sorts to form. You're burning off capillaries, and capillary damage is the worst. That's where little things go away. Burn a little capillary in your head and a memory go. So that's that one. When this just disgusts me. You know? I turn the brown note on all of them. What are you going to put a handle on that for? Nobody's carrying it. It's like something from Star Wars. Look at that. A sonic cannon. What's that doing to those trees? What's that doing to the squirrel? Shame on them doing this. Marvel? Well, I'm not going to call that real. Just start cannon. So thank God that's from, that's just science fiction, isn't it? I imagine they're selling that. I'm not going to do a Google isolation image on it. I know I've seen that in front of the State House. You could buy these, You can actually buy these. No shit. A sonic cannon. Watch. You could buy this. You can. You can own one yourself. Seen them for sale. It costs about $10K. Shopping. Isn't that a shame? Look, you could buy these. They're for sale. They're in the hands of indiscriminate people in a van that got their own agenda. Ultrasonic directional speakers with focused audio technologies. There's all sorts of... Can you imagine that? You could go here and you could click on eBay and get you one. Have you one. Long-range acoustic device crowd control kit. Have your own. Fight fucking fire with fire, people. Fight fucking fire with fire. Or sometimes just blow the candle out and wish a happy birthday to the world. Because it's time for a new world to just change an attitude. I don't mean no new world order either. It's the old world order just relabeled. I mean, we need a new attitude on this world called, I want to be a humane human being that is going to be humane. Big love, people. Stay safe. And I'll do weather a bit more later. But I gave you a glimpse. All right? Try to smile. There's some goods for you to go through. You got homework to do. Do it. Big love. Peace.